British Columbia. It's a little awkward to know what to say when I understand I'm accepting an award, but I haven't heard what anybody said about that up to this point. But, in any event, I understand I've been named to the Ohio Sasquatch, or rather Bigfoot Hall of Fame, and I really do appreciate it. I've probably been mentioned that I've been hoping to be present in person and to give a talk, but my aging memory is I'm just not capable of maneuvering through the problems of transportation by air across borders and so on in the modern day, so I haven't been able to face up to it. And of course, I'm really, I've been out of the Sasquatch field almost totally for the past 4 years, ever since my wife got sick, and meantime it's all moved beyond me anyway. I don't know anything about DNA, or which I think is what is going to settle the whole thing. And all these technological things that are being done and so on. And my chief contribution for about 10 years before that was assembling a searchable database, which is on the internet now, and I think probably the only one there is. But my effort at that time was to keep track of everything that was happening, and with the internet, of course, things got far beyond what any individual could keep up with. So I'm pretty well out of the picture. However, had I come to talk, what usually happens nowadays is that I say a few words and then people start asking questions, and the things I can deal with from a historical point of view are always of interest to somebody. But I can't do that in this context. And the other thing that I would have done is to talk about what's actually my main interest at this point. Is I've become active again after my wife's death. And it all revolves around a book called The Upright Ape, which has nothing to do with Sasquatch, never mentioned, and yet has everything to do with it, because a spine surgeon who's also a PhD anthropologist wrote this book, The Upright Ape, has presented indisputable proof that humans did not invent bipedalism, that how it arose presumably was just from some massive mutation millions of years ago, because all higher primates have always walked upright. And this is proven by their mechanics of their spine. And their vertebrae just pile up one on top of the other to take the weight straight down through the column without any of the attachments necessary to hold the spine together and bear weight in a horizontal position. And once you can accept that simple fact, which is a fact, it ties in perfectly with something I've long been aware of, that there has never been any fossil evidence for any quadrupedal primate. I mean, to me it was just in the context that there were no fossils for the gorilla and the chimpanzee and so on. But the reason there aren't, obviously, is because they are the ones who are evolving a new way to walk. And they also have the spines of upright animals, just about the same as ours. And they aren't able to walk as proper quadrupeds. There's life in the trees, which the silly idea that's accepted by everybody is that this is how humans came to be upright. Well, here we have higher primates that have lived for billions of years in the trees, and the result is that their legs are so short and their arms are so long that they can't walk properly the way they're designed to. And they've evolved this, they're very good at it, they do very well with it, but they've evolved a way of walking with the spine at about a 45-degree angle and using their long hands and the knuckles of their hands in place of front feet. And there's two things that I've learned in following this that I think should be of interest. One is that the media are more hostile to this change in thinking than they are to the idea that there are upright primates running around in North America. You just can't get any mention into the press at all of what is actually, may well turn out to be the greatest news story of the current century. That, humans did not invent bipedalism. Humans have the standard model. It's the chimpanzee and the gorilla, and before them the orangutan, and the other not so great primates that, well, there goes my memory. The siamang and the lesser gibbons, they do walk upright. Anyway, that's one thing, but where it has a special bearing for us in our line of research is that if all primates have always walked upright, then Gigantopithecus blacki walked upright. And if Gigantopithecus walked upright, it is exactly what thousands of people have been reporting seeing in North America for as far back as you care to go. So we're not looking for an unknown animal at all. That animal is known to exist. It has a fossil record. And it lived in China not so terribly long ago, maybe 100,000 years or even less. And it made it more than halfway from Africa to North America by the time it got there. And it had a few million years to pick out a land bridge to come across to North America on. So, as far as I'm concerned, the case is made. That covers it. I'd just like to express my appreciation for the honor that's been done for me. And express my regrets that I can't be there. Best to all of you.